Alright guys, I decided to pull the ambulance inside just because there's a lot of road noise outside, and I think you get a better sense of the lighting when it is inside, because this is what it'll look like at night when you would be using your lights. So let's climb in. We're going to go over all of the switches, and we're connected to the shoreline, so I don't have the motor on, and we should have full functionality of everything. So let me back up. Let me go all the way back and give you a glimpse of, here's the bench seat. You'll notice that the upholstery is in fantastic shape. I'll show you the CPR seat in a second. You'll see there's compartment space above the bench seat, and there's a window on the bench seat side, which is a big plus, so you can see where you are when you're back here. And you'll notice that the side door window can be opened, which is a huge plus if you action wall side of the ambulance. Big compartment space up there. There's two different shelves you can adjust to whatever height you want. Small area right there. There's an area for your monitor with the plug, and smaller space down below. There's the jump seat. If you want more counter space, the back of the jump seat, or the back of the CPR seat, can come down to make more counter space, but I don't think you really need it. There's quite a bit there. And then we've got our jump seat with an integrated child restraint seat right there. It looks like it's never been used and probably never has. Instead of just open shelving, which is, most ambulances I see have just open space there, it's enclosed compartment space, and it's lockable. You'll notice that the top lock and the bottom lock both have locks on there, and we do have the key for that. So here on the action wall, there's more compartment space. Let me see, am I backed up all the way? Yeah. Space for your BVMs, your nasal cannulas, masks, airways, all that stuff up there. And down below, there is, here on our action wall, we have our suction canister there, two outlets for oxygen. There is a regulator in one of those sockets. On the bench seat side, there is an outlet if you have a patient on that side. There's trash or sharps container here that goes through to an outside compartment. Then there's more plugs here, but there's also a volume control. You'll notice that there are two speakers in the ceiling for the AM/FM radio. So you can control the volume from this switch right there. You can turn it completely off or dial in your preferred volume. Then up here where all the switches are, we've got our suction regulator. Let's start with that. So turn that on. I'll put my finger over one of these holes. If you look at the gauge right there, I'll put my finger over. You can see it's really quiet too. There's that, and if you want to increase or decrease the suction amount, you just dial it in there. This digital doodad that you see right there is a clock, so if you're giving drugs or whatnot, you can clear it out and 1 minute or 2 minute increments give your atropine and epi or whatever it is that you might be giving. Then our patient heat and cool, so that's that switch right there. This is the thermostat here, so you want cold or heat or somewhere in the middle. This is where you dial that in. This is where that blows from. So then we also have a speed selector. The speed selector is the switch right next to it. So it's on high right now. You can probably hear the difference in pitch. That's medium, and that is low. And you can just barely hear that blowing out. And then obviously if I pick it up, there's that. Also, this ambulance is equipped with a HEPA filter, so you can change out the filter periodically. There is a schedule for that tells you every 6 months to switch out the filter in there, and you just pull it out, and you can get those from Wheeled Coach, and that's for the return air, just to make sure, especially with COVID days, pretty handy thing to have. The next switches are our dome lights. You'll also notice our dome lights are LED, and that's dim. That's pretty low. This is kind of like ICU setting, where it's kind of like dim. So there are those, and then obviously, and you can probably see all the way from over here, there's one right over the jump seat. Go up, go up. And then we have the back doors open, so they're not going to go completely off, but when you open the doors, they come on. So there's some light in here when you're putting your patient in. Then I already showed you we have the inverter switch. We turn that on. That activates the inverter. We have power door locks, which is pretty handy to be able to control that from in here. The exhaust fan. Oh, I got the suction on. It's so quiet, I didn't even realize I had the suction on. Then our exhaust fan, which sucks from over here and kicks it outside. If there's odors back here that you want to evacuate, you just kick that on. All of our circuits, all of our bus bars, and solenoids for all the emergency lights, everything that controls back here is accessible from back there. Obviously, you can slide the seat forward to open this up all the way, and there's another side that can be opened to access all the relays and whatnot. Power door lock module and all that stuff here. I've had great success with Wheeled Coach electronics. I've never had any of these relay boards go bad. I've probably had 200 Wheeled Coach ambulances. Only thing I've ever had to replace is one of these relays, and these can be purchased anywhere from like Napa, O'Reilly, wherever. You'll notice here's some radio antenna wires here, and so all the wiring is here for two-way radios, which usually cost about $5,000 just to have a ambulance wired for radio. So the front, all the wiring is there, and in the back, all the wiring is there. So that is pretty much everything back here. You'll notice that there is a space above the side entry door for gloves, small, medium, large, with holes there. And then you just lift that up to, oh, I should point out, all of the compartments lift up. So if you're doing restock, well, it might be a two-hander. If you're doing restock, all of the compartments do this. So you lift it up so you can get in there, or sometimes there's something that's too big to fit through the available, that amount of space, like an OB kit or something. You can just lift it up, pull it out, and there's that. So you'll see, oh yeah, the floor is in really nice shape. There's no cuts, there's no cracks, it's not lifting up anywhere, no bubbles or anything like that. All of the laminate is in really great shape. There's no chipped areas, there's no broken areas, and the upholstery is not cut anywhere. No slices. And there's a look at our patient compartment.